Hello.
Hi, I just got in trouble.
With what?
She's already in trouble.
I show my beers off on our shows all the time. Oh wait, it's on your channel.
It's on both of ours right now.
No. I got told to slow down already.
She's gonna be a mess if we don't slow down.
If I didn't have a dog walk right after this, I'd be probably up to par with you guys right now.
Guys, I've got something to say. I killed a baby today. It didn't matter much to me because I wanted a new life anyway. Sorry, this is the subject. That's not
how the lyrics go.
But this is the subject we're getting into.
Really not okay.
That's just not how the lyrics go. Hey, Otis.
Otis.
Hey, Natalie. What's up?
All right.
I don't know how this opened up that way. Hello, Calvin.
I could have opened up with skulls if you wanted to. I want your skulls.
Let's.
Hey, they're Jersey boys.
They are.
They are.
Was it Longpoke or Lompoke? Longpoke.
Lompoke?
I
Lodi?
said Longpoke.
Lodi, yes.
Sorry.
Wow. Stephen P. Kitty Cat.
So?
What's up?
I have to go already.
I'm
Someone's talking about Longpoke.
Oh, look! Emergency dog walks.
Can we...
Gotta go.
Who wants to explain what's going on
Lodi.
here? How are we doing this?
Lompoc is actually out here, by the way.
Lompoc, there you go.
And it's Lodi.
There you go.
This is
Lodi, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. We're doing a crossover. I think this is the first time we've actually done a show together ever.
Yes, yeah.
I think we popped on Tom's show a little bit a couple weeks ago, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Little bit.
Yep. Oh, there, Calvin did it. Hi, Calvin. Hi, Natalie. So, well, if you guys can see right below, we're talking about John List.
Yeah, this is really a disturbing situation.
Oh God, yes.
It's one of the weirdest parts about it is how dull he is.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever really checked into, I mean, we checked in the background so that, but he's
if he could have gotten paid to be dull.
Yes.
He would have made
this would have happened. Yeah, none of this would have happened.
Reminds me of Colin from What We Do in the Shadows. You guys watch that?
Literally was getting fired from jobs because nobody liked him.
Oh, we hit our limit. You gotta take off some pictures. We have a whole bunch of pictures on ours right now, so we gotta bring them.
I guess just to show one last time because it's going away. There you guys go. Vote for chaos in the Scurry Face Spectacular. Go to scurryface.com, guys, and vote for chaos unright.
But yeah,
we need warning for pictures like that.
I'm sorry. You want to do the crossover with Roots Be Red? This is what we do.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So I'm gonna go. You're now crossing over with Sinister Sister.
I wanted to add a picture of just even when you said boring, I had a picture already in my notes of him, like, I want to say it was in court, and he even looks so boring there.
Yeah, they were saying him in jail. He's an extremely boring person.
Yeah, I mean, his good time was to go up in his mother's apartment and read the Bible together.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was like their
strategy games. He loves strategy games.
Yes,
absolutely loved them.
Mm-hmm.
I think we listened to last podcast and left together. Sorry.
I'm all.
So,
God.
Just real quick too, like one of the things that drew us to this story is the fact that Westfield is not that far from us, where it happened, and we were actually contemplating going to Westfield and streaming from there, but it's raining and crappy out here tonight, so
that's what I heard.
Yeah, but Westfield is it's a beautiful town, but it's got some strange
like they used
things.
to use it as like the small town America.
Yeah, like in like all those websites.
Yeah, all of our eyes, Mr. Kitty Cat.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I had to put some of these out because they're just great.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Natalie.
Vote.
Hi, Otis. Everybody.
Vote for what?
Chaos, unright.
No, I know, but
the contest again?
It's the Scurry Face Spectacular, I believe it's called, and it's on scurryface.com. And he is in this really high round, and it's his first time in it, and we need to vote, and get his ass up to the top.
Being a haunt actor, it takes, to get to the level where they're at right now, it takes years. And I don't know if you've seen any of the haunt actors like Cherry Snots, and who was the other one that's up there right now?
Oh, I can't remember right now.
Very, very popular in the haunt community.
But I'm pretty sure Scurvy's up there.
Yes. Yep. And
So.
Chaos made it all the way up there right
Might
now.
need an
People like
orange.
him.
So vote,
Cool.
vote, vote. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway.
You can vote once a day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it ends tomorrow or Monday.
I think it's tomorrow
I
because
wanna
they do the drawings usually on Sundays.
Yeah, on the Scary
Scare
Face Twitch.
Actor Spectacular. Thank you so much for correcting me because I knew I was wrong.
Sassy.
So,
SAS. Yeah, I knew that at one point.
Thought they
All right, let's do it.
Yes.
So we got notes and
and we
Julie's
got notes.
Who wants to start this fun?
Mass killings, eh? Can't wait until Cthulhu.
What was the raw?
Yeah. Cthulhu for
I know
Doggin.
the chant from Morbid
Yeah.
Angels.
Cthulhu
Lord
for
of the Dead.
Doggin.
You start
Travel
summoning
duels.
stuff, then we're in trouble.
I can quote Morbid Angels.
Please
stuff like
don't
that.
summon things. My house can hear you.
Oh yeah, that's true. Jill's house is haunted.
I
And
mean,
that's,
it
that's
could
where
just.
we are.
Okay, so if
We'll
I'm
hear
able to
you.
summon Cthulhu, I'll be over there tonight. I'll just fly
Cool.
over there.
That'd be fun.
All right, cool. All right. I mean, you should
We'll
over
go
here
to
anyway.
Westfield.
Jill,
We will find a way to get a flight there, and I'll be there tonight.
Jillian, we're in your closet.
Oh.
I have to push the
Oh,
microphone away from him regularly. He
All
likes to
right.
try to eat it.
Sorry.
Sykes, yes, I did, and that is a fantastic subject to look into. There is a killer in Riverside that is, not too far from us. William Lester Suff.
Oh.
And he was known as the Lake Elsinore killer or prostitute killer. So, yes, we did get that.
I was reading the news and I see that Little Rock possibly has an active serial killer right now.
Mm-hmm. I was looking.
Liz got so
Wait,
excited.
what?
There's an active serial killer right
Are
now
we
in Little
going
Rock,
on
Arkansas.
location in probably about a couple months if they catch him? Yes.
Yeah, we're just
Sorry.
all going to Little Rock.
Isaac, summon away. Let's Amityville this bitch.
Little Rock is where my family's from. I'm sorry, actually, my family's from West Memphis. From West Memphis 3, yes, half.
Oh, wow.
My mom's side of the
Yeah.
family's from West Memphis.
Well, actually, aren't they from that town that sounds like it's not even a town name?
Camp
Mark Tree.
Fabanaba?
Camp Flabanaba, yes.
Camp Fabanaba.
Market?
Uh,
What did you say?
It's called like
Lodi.
Mark,
It's Lodi.
Mark
Lodi.
It's
Tree.
all Lodi.
I don't know.
Everything that he gets wrong is Lodi.
Or Long Poke.
All right.
Jenny, be the adult and start this.
Let's
Here
do
you
this!
All right. So we're talking about John List this evening.
Ugh.
The family annihilator. Where did that term come from? Is that from
It,
I,
oh, it- it's
what's the name of the show? What was the name of the show?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
America's Most Wanted.
Yes.
Oh,
Where they
probably.
give every one of the killers like actual nicknames and
Which-
stuff on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Which
It's-
plays a part.
Which
Plays
does
a part.
play a part. So Mr. List was born in 1925 in Bay City, Michigan, and he was born to John Frederick and Alma List.
Who were cousins, by the way.
Were they cousins, really?
Yeah.
Like
That
They're
explains a lot.
first cousins? Or
no.
The legal cousins are married? Because that would be, I think, your like third and fourth cousins.
His,
ask me how I know
they
about
were
that.
they were
It's good
his
to know.
father. They were like 20-something years apart, and I think it was his father and her grandfather were brothers.
Okay, bad enough.
That sounds too close.
And
That's
they
still
were
too
both,
close.
the brothers were both named Johann.
I would never date a
I
chick with
knew-
my last name ever.
I knew brothers.
I would never take the chance.
One
in
was
high
Johann
school that
and
were
one
both
was
named
Johann
Raphael.
Adam.
I knew a Raphael Gabriel, and his brother was Raphael Gerardo.
I knew a Leonardo
Stop
and
it.
Donatello.
And I was like, why is everybody
Oh,
Raphael?
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. There was
Yeah,
a guy
right.
named
Add a
Splinter.
Michelangelo in there, please.
There was a guy named Splinter who was like a father figure to them.
There was
I think.
like this guy that was like a bully in high school. I think his name was Shredder.
Something
Oh
like
my
Something
that.
like that. He used to torment him with these mouser
We're
things. I don't know
already
these toys.
completely off.
Okay, all right, let's get back on
He
schedule
did get
here.
his ass kicked by a
wait.
rat.
So are you guys gonna make me be the adult all night? Is
Yes.
that like the
All three of us
Yep,
are.
you're babysitting.
Your goth mother right now.
I'm old.
You got mama. You can just push me away at all.
I could just
I'll
knock her
probably
off.
just lie there for the rest of the night, screaming from the ground.
So I just wanted to talk about part of the subject. God.
Guys, I'm so into this killing. Shut the fuck up. No, sorry.
Alrighty then.
All right. Let's do this.
Okay, let's do this. So, one of the interesting things, I think that it's always cool to look back at the family history and like the childhood and stuff with all these people that do things like this. And it's interesting to note that his father kind of treated him like he was an afterthought. Like I think he only called him the boy, and he never like called him by his name.
I don't even think he ever celebrated any of his birthdays. That's how bad it was.
His room was the parlor.
Yeah, he didn't have his own bedroom.
Yeah, like when he left for school, there was no trace of him in the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sad.
What's worse is that my brain just went into you never even call me by my name. And now it's stuck in my head. I have country in my head.
Oh no, we have to get that out. Okay, so hi Andrew.
Hi, honey. Hi, Andrew.
Thank you. Hello.
So something like that's got to have a significant impact on somebody growing up, right? And I'm not by any means justifying what this guy did, because what he did was pretty horrific.
It's gross.
It takes his identity away from him when you have a childhood that is so basic like that, to where you're just you're kind of just there. It really takes his identity away from him. It turns him into what happened.
Yeah. He was told by his father that the only things in life that he should be doing were working long hours, doing as he was told, and that in his free time he should read the Bible and go to church. Like that was his whole life. So I think that, I mean, that's got to have a, well, it does play into what happened significantly. Significantly.
I'm sorry.
Kratos?
Boy. God of War.
Oh.
Or the whole entire video game, he's like, boy. And they changed the name. Somebody made an edit on it.
I play Luigi's Mansion. I don't know.
Someone called it Dad of Boy. Or Dad of Son instead. Because throughout the whole video game, he doesn't call his kid his name. He just goes, boy.
Okay.
At least I'm the one who got this, okay?
I got it too, but I didn't want to interrupt.
Sorry, I had to. It was hilarious. And it was pertinent to the moment.
Sorry.
So he gets from his father this whole sense of things like being like sloth, lust, all the 7 sins. They were like the worst of the sins: sloth, lust, and being poor. Right?
Which, like, that's not even a sin.
It's not a sin, yeah. But his father thought that poor people were being punished by God for the sin of being poor. So that's like the whole mindset that this guy's brought up with.
Well, it was the and I'm when I say this, I'm not lumping any Christians in this, but they came from a specific sect of Christians that believe
it was like Lutheran evangelicals.
It was something like that. They believe one of the ways that God recognizes
That's where
you.
I went to school.
One of the ways God recognizes you is with your wealth, and wealth as in materials and stuff like that, not actually being a good person and stuff like that going out there.
Not.
And again, I'm
Lutherans.
not lumping Christians or anything like that into that. I'm just saying.
That's actually not Lutherans, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I don't know.
I'm not Lutheran. I just went to one school that was.
Well, anyway, his father believed that and like instilled that in him growing up. And another weird thing about
like pounded that into his brain.
So another, like, to me, a weird thing about his father is that he hated Halloween, which makes sense, right? You know,
not in this house.
Not in the.
Not here.
This is a good
not
one right here.
happening.
I love this part.
Not happening here.
He never gave out candy when kids were trick or treating because children should work for it. Now, okay, I don't know what kind of Halloween they were celebrating, but I always felt like I was working for the candy that I got because you walked a lot.
Oh yeah, I put effort into my costumes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I had one year. I had
the
a Bart
cases
Simpson
weren't going to
mask.
fill themselves.
I had a Bart Simpson mask that I tore up and put I made it all messed up because I was trying to be Michael Myers, but I'm going to do this Bart Simpson, and then instead of I couldn't find enough because we lived on a farm, so I could find some blades, but I couldn't get it to I don't know the knives or the blades to stick to the glove I wanted to, so I just took pencils that I sharpened real hard and put them on there, and I was trying to be like this messed up Michael Myers, Bart Simpson, Freddy Krueger.
Cute.
Yes, And I got a lot of candy that year. I was like, I
Because you
worked for
worked.
this.
You worked for it.
Are there
Absolutely.
pictures? Because you can send those later.
I think there is pictures. I got to go find them.
I haven't seen these pictures.
We got to ask my
Yeah,
mom.
I
They're put
think
away.
we all need to see these.
I would love to show them
absolutely.
off. I was happy about that.
They,
I cut out.
You should
cut out
be.
I cut out the
Can
Bart
I
Simpson's
show
eyes.
off when you're wearing the cowboy boots and
Hell yeah, my
the
Raider-
Raiders shirt with your jeans tucked into your boots going,
Yeah.
Oh.
I was misguided when I was a kid.
These
I
are
did
back
it.
chat things that we need to see.
I was misguided. I was not a Broncos fan then.
very misguided at the time.
I'm a nothing fan.
So do you want the blue? You want the special
Yeah.
comment? All right. So yes, Halloween is work. So these kids are working.
Mhm.
I would like to reiterate that.
Yes.
I can't read right now. You know I can't read right now.
So one Halloween, his father went to chase a child that was playing a prank on their house. It was like one of those like ring and run kind of tricks. And the kid fell and twisted his ankle, which prompted the neighbors to all come out of their homes and see what happened. They all hated this guy so much that they went to file a complaint against him, but the church intervened on his behalf. So from there, all of John List's classmates started calling him Trick or Treat Johnny due to the incident, and they taunted him with that. Now, I would personally think that was an awesome nickname.
No.
Well, yeah, but they hated
They hated
not
Halloween.
for them.
Halloween.
Yeah.
So
So meanwhile,
Trick or
like,
treat Johnny.
yeah, and like meanwhile, this whole family's only outlet is going to church. Like that's their whole social function. That's all that they do. That's their whole life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he would go to school,
Go to school, go to work,
go to work, and then
come home, and then
he would his like only social outlet was church and his like whatever his mother was doing. She was so overprotective that he could only hang out with her friends at church and read the Bible.
Don't even think he hung out with anybody. Even when he was in school, like he just wanted to be home with his mother. He didn't. He never.
It was just.
Yeah.
he was a little extra mama's boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
So it's interesting that he enlisted in the army after high school. Like,
Wasn't he in ROTC?
No, he actually enlisted after high school.
No, I meant like prior to that.
Maybe?
I wanted to say he might have been in ROTC.
What year did he graduate from high school? What was it again?
Hold on.
That's
because
math.
Why are you asking this blonde
the reason
girl's
why
in
I
there?
asked is because there's more than likely
1943. He was born in 25.
he was already going to go to war. It didn't
Yeah.
matter whether he
Yeah.
enlisted or not. He was going to be drafted. He was going
But
to World War II.
he really didn't see any action. He saw the only action he saw, the Germans like surrender to his
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one of the funniest
11 months
things-
overseas.
So the
they
most
said.
boring person in the world has the most boring experience at war.
Yeah. Well, one of the funniest things about mass murderers, serial killers, whenever they go into the army, they always get these weird, mundane jobs. Shawcross was a clerk. Most of them were, they really didn't see action or anything like that, and then they come out and they're not all right. But
And that factors in later because
Yeah.
he
Shawcross
tries to use quite a few defenses, and this is one of them.
Shawcross would tell fake stories about all the things he did to the Viet Cong women and stuff like that. And it was like none of it
And he was
real.
never there,
None of
right?
it, yeah.
He was literally on base the entire time when
Yeah.
he was in Vietnam.
He only saw 11 months, and most of it was like in transit.
You should be considering yourself lucky for
And
that.
he thought he was like, oh my god, I got a Bronze Star, but they pretty much gave everybody a Bronze Star for World War II.
So what I found was that he was commissioned a second lieutenant through ROTC.
Okay.
So he moved.
Thanks,
He was
Liz.
an officer going in.
Well, in ROTC.
Oh,
But it gives you rank actually being in ROTC and going up
okay.
into the actual military. So, yeah.
So, after that, he went on to a
It's a second
very
degree.
interesting degree in accounting. I say that it's
This guy's a snooze fest.
I can't handle numbers, so for me, accounting would not be a good job. I couldn't even calculate. I'm like looking at like what year he was trying to graduate. We were just talking about like 1925. He'd be 18. I can't add.
Okay, so
I'm naturally blonde. I don't add anything.
what I have is In 43 was when he enlisted in the military.
That's what I thought. All right, cool. Cool.
He was a laboratory technician during World War II.
Yeah,
which
43.
sounds way, way more interesting than what he actually experienced.
So was he passing out? He was passing out prophylactics
I don't know.
to keep the boys from getting old syphilis. Is what it was.
He was.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
No, he was just a lab tech.
Foreshadowing.
Just a lab tech.
Not that no one was. Actually, that was a big thing.
Discharged from the army. Ew, discharged. We're talking about syphilis. And 46, he enrolled in University of Michigan shortly after in 46, and that's when he got his degree in accounting. Lovely, right?
Yeah.
Which
is isn't that what Colin does in What We Do in the Shadows?
Accounting? I don't know. It's just like office jobs. I don't think this.
one of the funniest
the life out of everyone.
things, and I know you're going to get into this
I love it.
in a little bit when we get to it in a little bit, but
A little bit.
it's weird because we're going to get into something else that he did that actually he was awesome at, but for some odd reason he kept going right back to accounting. Sorry.
By the way, Otis says he's not chatting because he's learning some things here.
Yay!
Yes.
Great show, ladies, and Frank.
Well, thank you.
Oh, and Frank.
And
on a
that
side
dude.
note, I just had to bring this up because it made me laugh. 1 year for Halloween, Sykes dressed as a woman, and he was an ugly woman.
I don't know, Sykes. You're pretty.
Me
we're
too,
gonna find,
Sykes. Me too.
You're very pretty.
This guy was in desperate need of debauchery.
Well, I
mean, eventually he participated in
all
really
he
bad shit.
all he needed was one lady of the night to fix all this. One lady of the night. That's it.
He liked bowling, and he would go to church to do bowling.
Not even to a.
Yeah, he'd go to the church basement for.
There was a bowling alley in their church.
They
basement?
actually put one in
A
to
lot
keep
of
them. A
lot of churches
separated.
have them.
Mm-hmm. A
Like,
lot of
keep them
churches
away
around
from
here
the
have them
public.
too.
Yeah.
Still to this day, they still do
churches
bowling.
around here have bowling alleys?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, there was a church.
Yeah, aren't you bowling at your local church?
The
Duh.
Presbyterian church in
They wouldn't let me.
Belleville has one.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Well, they're not going to let us in.
They're not going to let us in to go bowling with them. I was like, I just want to have fun and fish
You
and
never
chips.
know.
Your mom has one.
I'm kidding. I'm
Just
your mom.
your mom.
Your mom's.
So, during his bowling excursions, that's where he meets Helen.
Yes. Oh. This piece of work.
This one.
Always signing
Come
their
on,
words
this
away.
bitch.
That one.
Barely able to just doesn't hear anything, can't see anything.
Let's
Helen
not
Keller.
victim blame, guys.
Wrong Helen. Wrong Helen. You know,
where did that go?
Helen Keller. Helen Keller. He was like signing away, never speaking, doesn't hear what we're saying to her.
God, she never listens to
God.
me. Not
Wrong
once did she
Helen.
listen to me.
Well, she
Wrong
was
Helen.
Oh, wait, no.
Oh, wait, we didn't get there yet. We didn't get to this Helen yet.
This
So
is gonna be a good one.
Helen is a little bit touched. Of course, his mother, his mother immediately disapproves of her.
The 40s, and she's got a kid already.
Yeah, but she had a kid because her husband died. Like, she had a kid with her husband, and he died.
But
so
to the mother, it was like, Johnny could do so much better.
Her husband was an actual combat vet. Like, he was actually in combat in World War II, and that's what obviously that's where he died and stuff like that. And we'll get to it in a second where you're about to get to. I think he brought something back to her.
He did. So, Helen...
Otis needs me to Vogue.
All right, stop it. I'm gonna Vogue you. Go ahead, talk. I'm gonna Vogue for you.
Let's not accidentally put that in there.
So, anyway, Helen lies to John and says that she's pregnant, which makes John ask her to marry him.
Oh yeah.
Because
makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah. After they were married, that's when she told him that she lied. He was absolutely furious, but he didn't do anything about it because he couldn't divorce her. That would have been a sin.
No, that's when he began stuffing it all down.
You think that's where it began? Yeah. I think it began before that.
I do too.
But this is...
No, I mean with Helen. I mean with her. That's when it just all started to just...
when he was with as a kid up to this point, it was literally just like, okay, I'm dealing with stuff. When he got with her, because I'm sorry, excuse me, because what
really
we're about to get
attractive
to
her.
here,
You should do that more often. For all
I
of
am
us.
trying to be polite here. I went like this.
He's all.
Like, what was that? My death metal guttural girl? No. He really did start bearing it down with her because she was very much not nice to him.
No. She challenged him. Let's yeah.
I don't even think she dominated him.
She challenged him is definitely a little bit of a lighter way of saying it.
She deserved any of this.
She did not deserve any of this, but she literally freaking Hulk Hogan power leg bombed him every single day.
I'm gonna be honest,
and
though,
Bret Hart sharpshootered him all the time because I was watching a lot of wrestling
Well,
stuff
she
later.
didn't deserve to die in the manner that she did. She did kind of bring it on herself. The way she treated him.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. She instigated it. She antagonized him with it. He should never have snapped the way he did. He should have just left her.
But then again, at the time, there was well, he was so quiet. I didn't see this coming.
I say to Andrew all the time, I'm like, just leave me. Just go. We'll figure it out.
It's not just the time, too. It's the fact that divorce was a sin to him.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So he was trapped. He was trapped with this woman. So, they apparently her sister says that Helen did not like children, yet she went on to have 3 more children in addition to her first daughter.
Well, highly religious, they're not going to be out and on the ground.
They're not going to mediate the situation.
Yes, they're just going to be like, oh, it's happening.
They're not going to do anything to intervene. But it's interesting because he was, like, by all accounts, he was really proud of his kids. He was really happy to have a family. He was, wanted to really provide well for his family because that was how he was raised.
Was ever happy.
Well,
that may not be an emotion he ever felt in his life.
No, I don't think so.
I do. When we get more into,
I guess boring people can be happy.
When we get more into the murders and stuff like that, there is. I'll say this: part of the reason why he did what he did, he felt embarrassment for whatever situation he was in.
That he brought on himself by doing what he did and just sitting at the freaking train station. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not there yet. I know.
We're not there yet.
Not getting ahead of us.
We're not there yet. So
we got another hour to go.
I mean, we're halfway through. We may want to do the commercial real fast.
I'm taking a nap.
Oh my goodness. Jillian's taking a nap.
We're not halfway through yet.
Yeah.
Are we?
We're at 30.
We still have an hour and a half.
Wait, we're doing 2 hours?
We're doing an hour and a half.
Okay, then at 45 minutes we'll do it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Jesus. So get your shit together, Frank.
So Helen began drinking excessively. They say 5 scotches a day, which doesn't sound like really that much.
Look, that doesn't sound that excessive, really.
Look, I drink professionally. That is a lot. 5 scotches a day is not something I want to do.
I don't want 5 scotches a day, and
But she was also taking Valium with it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
dear
go.
God.
There you go.
Bye, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
So the one of the reasons that she was doing that is because she had tertiary syphilis? Is that what it's called?
Tushy syphilis?
End stage
Turkey syphilis?
End stage syphilis.
It's
syphilis
that can be treated.
Tertiary.
It's past
because
year.
at the time, only men were treated for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't
and
just
by
like
the
men.
time, no, it literally like at the time when,
literally,
only men were treated for it.
Only men were
and
treated
then
for it.
when they started treating women for it, she was too far gone.
I thought it was also
they would usually institutionalize women who had it.
I thought there was also the factor when she got syphilis too. There wasn't actually enough penicillin because they were sending all that off overseas. Because even at the time, men too who contracted syphilis in the stateside who were not going to war did not.
No, women were not.
No,
they were not medicated at the time.
No,
and then you're fine. You're not in trouble, Frank.
No, you're not in trouble. I'm just
right here. I'm all by myself.
I know. Shut the hell up.
No.
I'm just saying, men stateside didn't get it either at the time.
So by the time they really got around to being able to treat her, it was too late for her. It was already going to her brain. Her brain was affected by it. which really exacerbated the whole situation. In addition to that, she was also really materialistic, which goes against a lot of the things that, oh no. It goes against, I lost her.
Is it because of this?
Okay. I'm sorry, Steve the Cat wins comment of the year, and it's not even June yet.
Stephen P. Kitty Cat won comment of the year at on our last.
Dear God, Stephen P. Kitty Cat's awesome.
Yeah, we got to give him credit because
that cat can type.
That
cat can talk shit.
Yeah, wow. Repeatedly last week.
I hope my cat.
I hope my cat's okay.
My work's not watching.
Sorry.
Anyway. Anywho.
Well, I got 3 of those.
All right. So, one of the wonderful things that Helen would do is that during company parties and things like that, she would tell everybody things about Mr. List.
In the bedroom.
Things that he never compared to her first husband.
That knot is going from this to this to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seething. He must have just been constantly seething.
30 years of it.
Again,
30 years
not
of it.
Justifying what he did.
However, not justifying what he did, but at the same time, you can see how he snapped.
Yeah.
And I understand. I almost, in a really weird way, understand him going after her, but I never will understand the rest of the family.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Well, so he wrote his whole collateral damage book.
Yeah, we'll get to that too.
Yeah.
So she was always demeaning him. She called him at work to come home and change the kids' diapers because she wouldn't do any of that. Which is
she would literally make him come home.
Yeah.
If you want these kids' diapers changed, you're gonna do it yourself.
The insane thing is that we know how she died, but she lasted almost 30 years with advanced severe alcoholic and advanced syphilis. Almost 30 years with it. It's mind-boggling that she did not die sooner.
So he kept getting these really good jobs, and then he would be fired because
he would suck the life out of everyone.
Yeah.
He was a vampire.
Yeah.
An emotional vampire.
Vampire.
Right, so, I mean, what's his face from What We Do in the Shadows is very much based on
Colin.
Colin, sorry.
It has to be. It has to be. He was just snooze fest, like I said.
So I think he adopted Brenda, his stepdaughter, right?
Yeah, she's got really good memories, before this, of them going fishing.
Wow. So I guess he was kind of an attentive father, right?
At some point.
Actually,
he started hating everyone.
Even with his kids, aside from what we brought up in our back chat earlier, that we'll get to later on, but he was actually not a bad father. I don't think he ever raised a hand to his kids or anything like that. Not once.
Once.
Once. Yeah, once. I'm sorry, with that incident that we talked about.
Yep.
But he was... he was neither a good father nor a bad father. He was just
just there. Yeah, it seems like that was his whole life. He was just
everybody
there.
Was he was part of the scenery. That's it.
So then they're living in Detroit. Then he moves the family to Rochester, New York. So they did move around a lot too, which is always unsettling.
I do find that interesting.
Which one?
The Xerox.
Yeah, that he got a job with Xerox.
He was there before their big... Wasn't it before they really took over?
Yeah. And
they were on their way up.
But he was the one who came up with the idea to charge, was it 25 cents for a copy? Yeah. And just made them a ton of money.
Which at the time was a lot.
And then they were like, bye. You're
25
annoying.
cents was not cheap at the time.
Mm-hmm. 25 cents. What's that for inflation?
Oh, damn it. I didn't...
25 cents for inflation right now is about $12.
25 cents in what, 46 or 47?
No, in the 50s. It's roughly $5 a copy.
Oh yeah, that would be probably about.
I didn't inflate anything.
So you guys know that Jillian has that thing for inflation, right? Every time we tell a story and there's a cost in the past, she needs to know what it is adjusted for inflation.
And I don't know why she hates it.
Hold on, 1950s. is what today?
Oh, it's $25.
Yeah.
$25 for a copy?
It's not. No, it's.
No, it's not.
Oh. Value. I said 25 cents, and it says $25.
So no, that's
just
actually
move
No,
the decimal point.
That's not what it's saying. It says it thinks I'm talking about $25.
oh.
So I'll figure this out in a little bit, guys.
At
All
the
right,
time,
cool.
25
We'll have a
cents
surprise.
1950s were on a gold standard still, and it's roughly probably about $5 a copy.
That's a lot of money for a
It's
copy.
still, yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Considering that now it's still like 10 cents a copy, I think it went down.
Jillian's got the calculation.
Am I right?
You are twice right. No, wait. $2.26.
Okay, so I was too.
Nope,
I was,
I'm sorry. Let's say it's like roughly 1955.
Okay.
It'd be $2.49 today.
So you were
Because I mean, like, $25 in 1945 is equivalent to $370.91.
welcome to the math hour, guys.
Crazy.
yeah. I know. I keep saying like I suck at math, and then we're doing math.
896.5% inflation.
Woo!
That's crazy. So he couldn't handle the pressure of any jobs that he had. He just couldn't handle them for long. In 1965,
Hell, he's laughing.
1965,
Four people.
accepted another position as a VP and controller of a bank in New Jersey, and stop it.
It was Jersey City.
In Jersey City, that's where they moved to Westfield, New Jersey, which is not too far from where we are. Stop it.
Just giving my fan what he wants.
If you two don't pipe down right now, we're going home right now.
We're all turning this car around and we're going home.
We'll turn this podcast around right now, okay?
Oh my god, sorry.
So we were talking about Westfield a little bit earlier too.
Mm-hmm.
Westfield is not too far from where we are. It's a beautiful town. It's like the typical lovely suburban area.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time it was like one of those things that they would put on the like
Commercials.
great towns to live in New Jersey, commercials, like all that stuff. Yes, welcome to the math hour.
Kathleen.
Yes,
Kathleen Elizabeth.
So he buys this house, 431 Hillside Avenue in Westfield, New Jersey. It was $50,000 at the time, which that we do have adjusted for inflation because we thought ahead on that. It was almost $490,000 today. However, that house right now, we'll get into that, but the house that now stands on that property in 2004, it last sold for $2.2 million.
Jesus.
Because we're in New Jersey.
Because we're in New Jersey and everything is crazy here. There are the taxes on that house.
The median
$48,000 a year.
The median
in
house, the median cost of living here for a house in California is $500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It makes 0 sense.
That's why we're looking to move to Louisiana, Georgia, or Texas soon.
So they bought this 19-room Victorian mansion, 10 fireplaces, 5 bathrooms. It was twice the budget that they should have had for their house, but Helen insisted that they had to have this huge
Very
house.
much insisted on it. He actually picked out a house that was within their budget. Would have been fine, everything like that. Even if he lost a job or something happened, they would have had the house paid off very fast. Even for the time, they would have had it paid off very fast.
Yeah. If he could keep a job.
If he could keep a job.
Well, I mean, he kept losing them and then getting them. So it was like,
Yeah,
and
I
he
guess
kept
that-
like making like lateral moves.
The weird thing about this period is when he lost a job, he would go and do his thing and like hang out at the train station. But when he got a job, it was actually better than the last job.
Yeah.
It was going up and up and up for him. So sorry.
Yeah.
He couldn't handle management though. They like because he couldn't handle problems. He couldn't handle real world problems.
He couldn't handle people in any way, shape, or form because he had no way of talking to people or communicating them. Very much what is it?
Misanthrope?
There you go. I couldn't think of the word for a second.
I don't know where I came from. So,
You get the smiley face today.
and just to give you guys a picture of the type of guy he is, he would actually wear a suit, like a full suit, when he mowed the lawn.
We have a picture of him of him in the suit at the time.
Hold on.
Well, this is
I did not expect.
Otis, don't enable her.
Otis is typing stuff. Okay, we got.
He's
Let's
enabling
look over there
Jillian.
right now.
And Vogue.
Vogue.
Wait, I'll do Liz.
Don't exactly think that's how you Vogue.
I don't know
No,
how
it's
you
not.
Vogue.
It's not at all.
It's not even
like
a little
this.
bit.
Here he is, right here. This is what he looked like in the
Nerd.
50s.
What a nerd.
Yeah,
Pocket protectors.
and he would, like you said, he would mow his lawn in a suit. He
Like
would not
that.
leave,
Like
not
that.
leave the house.
Yep.
Unless he was in a suit and tie all the time.
I got on my suit and tie.
I can't imagine wanting to actually do anything physical outside in a suit.
I'm sorry, I would be the guy if I was in the 50s. I would be that dude wearing the nice shoes, with the things that hold your socks up, and your cut off shorts.
The
that come up
garters?
below your knee.
You mean the male garters?
The male garters, and then I would have the wife beater tucked into my pants mowing my lawn with a cigar, saying hi to everybody.
Why are your children bad?
I don't know.
Your children are bad.
So one of the things that we haven't shown
Yeah.
yet, and we've been talking about her so very much. Do you want to bring up the List family so we could show off?
Yeah, let's show 'em.
Helen.
Yep. She had a lazy eye.
She had two lazy eyes.
Yeah. What was she
Probably,
looking at?
probably from the syphilis.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Syphilis eye.
But look at her kids.
Is that the equivalent of stink eye?
Their
Yeah.
kids were. He had gorgeous kids. They were very
Yeah.
nice looking, everything like that. They were very, very good kids.
She looks. The girl looks a little disgusted with the photo.
Oh, the girl's
But-
awesome.
Oh,
Oh, she is just angry.
yes.
Well, at this
she's-
point, she's this is probably 69 or 70,
Yeah,
where
she
she's
is
done
pissed.
with her dad.
She's pissed.
Yes. So, as we mentioned, he kept losing jobs and stuff. So the way that, Are we
We're
on? Okay.
No, you're on.
It went dead.
Look,
No, if we mute,
it's just us.
that's what happens.
Okay,
Oh
cool.
my god, that's terrifying.
I was like, are we in a vacuum?
I was like,
Our
oh my god, we
AC
gotta go.
unit, it's hot in here right now, and it's not too bad until we hit the mute, and everyone's like, "Oh wow, we can hear your AC unit now." So
Yeah.
By the way, Otis's dog started barking when your dog started
Sorry.
barking.
Zero just gets a bug sometimes.
She does. She does. So, he was also asked not to teach Sunday school anymore because he was too strict, and
strict
the
for
kids
Sunday
were
school.
afraid of him.
what?
How
He was-
strict do you have to be in Sunday school?
To be too strict. How strict do you have to be too strict?
Too strict.
Yeah.
I went this
Like a volunteer position, dude. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
They brought me in Sunday school because I was never baptized. My parents were agnostic, so but I had friends who were like, "Hey, come to Sunday school," and I was like, "Why should I come to Sunday school?" And they're like, "We have tacos." I was like, "I'll go to
We have
Sunday school."
tacos.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah,
I'll
I
go
would
in there and
go
be like,
too.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Gotta go for the top.
Mikey, what's up?
Hey, Mikey.
Hey, Mikey.
I got all that.
So
I didn't get any tacos.
he's replacing the money that he's losing by losing these jobs by taking money from his mother because he was the executor of her estate. She also
When they
lived in
moved
the
this mansion,
apartment.
yes.
Yeah, she also lived in the apartment upstairs.
Well, he moved her. Where was she living at the time? When they bought this mansion, he moved her. Was it from Michigan, or it was from another
Yes.
state?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was from Michigan with
Yeah.
she loaned them the down payment on this house with the stipulation that she had to go with
That's
them.
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And apparently, like there was so much tension between his mother and his wife, but she like really loved the kids. Like the mother really loved the kids.
Mhm.
But you can imagine like what that must have been like for him. He's got these two women that like he loves his mother. I'm assuming he may have loved his wife. I don't know. But constantly, oh man, it must have just been like unbelievable. And then he's got the daughter.
And then he would go up at night to the mother's apartment on the third floor of this Victorian mansion that they can't afford, which is like
Oh, do you have a picture of the house?
complete disarray.
Yes, we do.
Because it's such a pretty house.
That
Look at that.
that might have been right when right after the murders happened. Being
Yeah.
that his yard was unkept and everything like that. Like,
Yeah.
because I think he wanted to keep up appearances. He did not want his house to look nasty or anything like that.
Yeah.
Even though the inside he could not. He didn't have the money he didn't have the financial means to.
They had like
repair
no
anything.
furniture.
Yeah.
They had a ballroom.
I
Yes.
have a picture of that too. Give me a minute.
Well, you
I
don't.
was actually pulling that up right
have
now.
we have a picture of the ballroom with the people in it.
Oh, let's not.
We're not there yet.
No. We have a picture of the ballroom without the people.
No, I mean, it's the ballroom where it happened.
Where he laid.
But
Where things happened.
it's not there right now. That's just, yeah.
That's clearly after the bodies have been taken out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the ballroom. They had a freaking ballroom in their house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't they have like a ping pong table or something in it?
That was it.
And that was it?
Yeah, it was like a pool
Was-
table.
yeah.
Like a,
Let me see. They had, there's some kind of fun stuff.
looks like a desk.
And a
Yeah.
desk. I want to
Look at
say
the
that other
molding.
one might be the ping pong table.
Probably. Look at
Looks
the
like-
molding around the door. It's so
Isn't it
pretty.
beautiful?
It's definitely not
Yeah.
a skee ball table. He would not have that in his house.
Too much fun.
Too much fun.
Love
Ballroom
me
blitz.
skee ball.
And the man in the back said, "Everyone attack."
So then he got a new job with an American photographic company in NYC for less than half of his last salary.
Yep.
Are you laughing still?
I'm laughing at Tom.
I know, I saw that.
Frank, you
This
were
is my
12.
help during our shows, by the way. Is
You are
Tom
12.
comments and he just like
I
starts
know.
laughing.
He tries. He does it on purpose.
Tom knows how to tug at my heartstrings. He says
He says
juvenile
ball. I said
words.
how high.
Is that what we're calling it?
I'm sorry, Jillian said balls.
Tom
sorry.
says balls. Frank giggles.
This is your life, isn't it, Liz?
This is my
This
life.
is your life.
That's my life.
It's a fun life. I'm sorry, guys.
Kind of her life too with me. So.
Balls and fart jokes.
Dick and fart jokes is what my grandmother said. You want to get a girl, dick and fart jokes. I'm sorry.
Isn't that the best grandma advice ever?
Yeah. That's how your grandfather got me.
You want to know the best part about that? It's all true.
It's true. She was a wild. She was fun.
It is
She was a good
all
woman.
true. Everything he's saying. It's not made
that's
up.
Fantastic.
Oh, hi, Kisa.
Hey, Kisa. That's what I was waving at when I like.
And Nick. Hi, Nick. Sorry.
Hey, Nick.
All right, we're ready to get through this.
Okay, so anyway,
know.
so all this stuff is falling apart. He's got no money. He's siphoning money from his mother. His house is falling apart. His kids are starting to grow
And he
up.
didn't tell anyone.
Yeah,
that
he didn't
lost
tell
his
anybody.
job. He would like literally
Go
get
sit at the
up.
bus station or the.
Yeah, he would get up and act like he was going to work, and
Well,
then
there's
go
a-
sit at the train station and
There
like,
is
read
a
newspaper.
reason for that. They did actually have unemployment and programs to help him out at the time, but
You wouldn't
because
take
of
it.
his
Yeah.
because of his upbringing,
Because of his pride.
it was just they
It wasn't even pride; it was his disdain for poor people.
yeah, he hated it.
Yeah.
He was like, no, those people accept help. I was like, no, dude, that's here to help you out and make sure you can
Yeah,
maintain your
right.
family.
In fact, he's like exactly what it's for.
Yeah.
You know?
All he
Well-
had to do was not buy this house.
Yeah, but that damn Helen.
And that would have prolonged it to about the 80s.
Damn
Yeah, but then
thing.
you've got other things going on too, where he's losing control over the kids. He's starting to get more strict. He's getting more. He needs to control something, so he doesn't.
His upbringing, where he was literally just right there with his mom, right there with his parents, go to school, come home. That's what he did. He basically didn't have. He didn't have puberty. He didn't have any rebellion period or like that. He just came back and came home. But his kids, growing up in the '60s,
he
got
could
to
not
experience
handle it.
all that. And they were basically rebel against your parents and go think for yourselves.
Yeah, he could
And
not handle that.
They're not like we're not too far from New York City,
Right.
so there's a lot of that cultural
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
too. You know, the
Woodstock,
commercial?
everything like that is like all right there. You know,
Well, how long's your commercial? Can I?
we got
It's maybe like 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
You can go. You can go.
I gotta go pee too. Sorry,
Okay, I'll run a couple ads.
just a couple ads. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Bye. We'll be back, guys.
This is Mr. Applewhite speaking. There is nothing wrong with your device. Join me here on Psycho Bunny DC. A delightfully dreadful consternation of horror content. Use your head and free your mind.
All right. Well, I think it's just going to be us for a
It's
moment.
just us.
I was like, I can't put on more commercials. That'll just run people
They'll be
off
back.
for now. We'll play more at the end, guys, because these are awesome commercials.
They are. That second one with the Mr. Apple. Oh, it's so scary.
Right? Isn't it awesome?
It's so scary. So scary.
Dude, so, basically, what we've gone over thus far would be, hi! Okay, so, we covered his early life. We covered how extremely boring everything about his entire life has been. We covered the fact that he was in the military. He was a lab tech in the military, but he was in the military. He became an accountant. We're getting into his family, talking about Helen being such a nightmare.
Hmm.
Now, granted, it was due to medical issues, more likely. Partially, at least.
Maybe.
Partially, at least. We're talking about now the kids are starting to get into a rebellious stage, which he doesn't know how to handle, because he never went through a rebellious stage. He stayed home, he read the Bible, and that was pretty much it.
That was it.
And times really were changing fast for him.
Yeah, and he didn't know. I mean, especially going into the 60s here. Whew! A man like that, and then having to deal with children in the 60s?
Nope.
Dear
in New Jersey.
God. Oh, God,
In New
yeah.
Jersey, 25 miles from New York City.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll say this real fast.
he had to have been losing his mind. By the way, we are driving soon.
Oh, that's right. Well, you're driving soon.
Apparently, I'm driving soon.
Well, now you are. You
Well,
win.
you're- a man like this actually needs to be offended by the 60s because
Yeah.
that was
Definitely. Sure.
Yeah.
much control right there.
Too much control, absolutely. And I think that the daughter was really starting to push him. I think with her
Oh, yeah.
being the oldest of that group of children, because Brenda
yeah.
was the oldest. But Brenda moved out in, 1960, I think?
And I don't think they
Yeah.
approved.
And like got married right away.
they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
And they didn't approve of it, but she was like, "I'm just going to go do it." So
I had notes
Yeah.
that said
I
she moved
could
out in
be
like
wrong.
60.
she was older.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, 9 when they got married?
Yeah. They were not. She was 9 when they met. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe 10.
she.
They got married pretty quick.
Yeah,
So now he's got he's still got the mom and the wife fighting, and the daughter who's starting to
It got
grow
to the
up
point
and
where, like,
rebel, and
The mother and Helen just didn't even speak anymore. Unless they
living
absolutely
in the
had
same
to.
house and not speaking. So she was John. He interpreted this as she was heading right to Satan. The daughter was heading right to Satan.
well, maybe she should be going to Satan.
Maybe.
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 I mean, Satan's a fun guy. He's a fun fallen angel. If you guys have watched Lucifer on Netflix, it's amazing.
Love him. He's
I
gorgeous.
absolutely
He's
love
gorgeous.
Tom Ellis.
Yeah.
Tom Ellis
Yeah.
is awesome. I could recognize his handsomeness. I mean, like I would thrive to be him. I mean, like look at this guy. I mean, I'm gonna rock
Yeah.
the Viking thing and Misfits, but you know, if I could be that, I would be that and own
I mean,
a bar in
isn't
Los
he
Angeles.
like 6'5" or something in real
Oh.
life? Like,
Basically, what you just said, he's 6 foot wiener, is what you said. Yes.
Yes, he is
he's
6 foot wiener.
wiener.
The man can actually sing. He can actually play the piano. He does musical theater.
And he's a lovely gentleman. I mean, like even actually see him in interviews. He's a great person. Satan is awesome. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
And I really didn't expect Satan to have a British accent.
No.
I'm sorry. I would actually see that. If Satan has to
I
have a
would,
British
yeah.
accent.
Yeah.
I'm
I would think
007. He has to have 007's accent because
I mean,
evil is English. I mean, that's the English.
did you hear when he did an American accent?
He actually got it spot
It
on.
was spot on.
Yeah.
Well, it was spot on nerdy,
It
but
tripped me out. Anyway, let's go. Let's do this.
Anyway, okay, so in addition to all that, Patty also joined the drama club, which was like completely inappropriate to John.
Yeah.
Completely
Prostitution.
inappropriate. Yeah, he compared it to prostitution. She'd go to church, but she was under like
So I was a
silent.
prostitute in high school?
I was a prostitute too in high school.
Apparently, I was a prostitute in high school.
I got drunk.
According to John List.
Yeah.
Which is not,
Which is not the barometer that we're going by.
I was a whore in high school. I'm not gonna lie.
Now I'm the one that needs to take a break. I'll be right back.
So she would tell her friends that she was. She would tell her friends that she was a witch, and asked her drama coach if he would like to become a warlock in her coven.
Did she float?
I don't know that she floated, but I think that sounds.
I float, but I'm just fat.
I'm just saying. If you're a witch,
I float.
you have to float. A duck floats too. I'm sorry, I'm quoting Monty Python right now.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. So her biggest act of rebellion was to wear a thin cotton T-shirt with a peace sign that said "Make love, not war."
I didn't know kitties go to high school.
Her dad flew into a fit of rage when he saw this. He thought it was an affront to God.
Can you imagine? Just a peace.
It's a peace sign, and he thought it was
groovy.
The logic back then, getting closer to Adam and Eve, basically like with no clothes and not causing war.
Yeah,
That's
right.
an affront to God.
Yeah, you would think that God would not want that.
I
right?
think it was also more of the free love.
I'm sure it was the free love.
Yeah.
He was so enraged by this. He was so enraged by this that one time he threw her against the wall and ripped her shirt. Like he
could not have that shirt in his house. He couldn't.
This
and
is where
things started escalating. So they stopped speaking after that. Clearly, I mean, I can understand why. So in 1970, he took a new job after being unemployed for months as an insurance salesman, but he was horrible at it and only made $5,000 a year, which was not even close to what he needed to make up for all the bills in this house.
The crazy thing, if he didn't live in that house, again, you brought that up, if he didn't, $5,000 a year at the time was plenty of money to have a smaller house, couple bedrooms, and
even if they had the smaller house, they still would have been like upper middle class.
Yes, exactly. They would have been upper middle class.
So now you've got like this pressure cooker, even more. Like it's like the heat is turning up on the guy. He had triple mortgaged the house, owing more than almost $50,000. He owed $1,000 in heating bills alone.
Well, I know what it's like to heat this house, and I do not have 19 rooms.
And he had an outstanding bill of $150 with the milkman. Like he wasn't even paying the milkman. And how long are you not paying the milkman that you owe $150?
For the time being, that was probably like
what's inflation?
$2 a week.
$2, yeah, $1.
Do it, done. Give me that. Give me that. So the final straw came when he heard that the house was going into foreclosure, and still, you all right, Liz?
I just ran my foot over.
That wasn't me.
Although he does that regularly.
So all this pressure's mounting, and now he hears that the house is going into foreclosure. He must have just lost his mind, right?
In his head, failure was not an option.
Not even failure.
Option.
Poor was not an option.
Poor was not an option.
Poor,
None
failure.
of it was an option.
He can't. He has no control. He has absolutely no control over anything. He's stuck in a
good movie.
Money pit of a house, a wife that bullied him, children that he started to dislike, and he began making this grandiose, horrific plan. He couldn't leave. He couldn't get a divorce. He couldn't commit suicide because all of these would be considered a sin, and he would not get into heaven.
That was the milkman bill.
Oh, the milkman bill, according to Jillian's inflation calendar, in today's day would be at $1,032.43 that he would be
for the milkman.
For the milkman alone.
There's still dairies.
For how often?
Well, he hadn't paid it in so long.
Yeah,
that
they
the
would
bill
come
just
weekly.
escalated.
They would come weekly with like bread, milk, eggs. It wasn't just
so he couldn't even pay to feed his family at that point.
There are still dairies around today that actually do, in small towns, still deliver milk.
I wish we could get that.
I think it's kind of rad, actually.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
It is pretty cool.
I don't drink milk, but I would still buy it.
I do drink milk, but it hurts my tummy.
Me too.
So he's got all of this stuff going on. He believes that if he kills himself to escape, gets a divorce, or leaves, they're all a huge sin. He purchased 2 handguns.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, oh no, there's There's a twisted
But
logic. There's more.
Yeah.
He purchases 2 handguns, goes to the Westfield PD to file a handgun permit.
Because he
Just
loves his
stupid.
forms.
Because he loves follow the,
Stupid.
he loves rules.
Yeah.
He wanted to follow the rules.
He probably really enjoyed
Can I
filling out that
Bring
permit.
something
He
up real
wanted to
fast.
follow the rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is also something we're also leaving out here. At the time, he was also, even for the 70s, he was a true crime buff. He loved true crime. And for him to know about true crime, to go to the cops and register the guns.
Dumb.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, because he's got this whole thing going on.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks before the murders, he lets Patty have a Halloween party, which is
Watched
fascinating to me.
her on the top stairs
Yep.
the entire
Yep.
time.
Just
Viciously
watched.
watched them.
Just waiting
Yes.
for a moment to
Staring at them.
tell these theater kids
Well-
what prostitutes they are.
He's
I'm,
waiting.
Whores!
I'm not joking here. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like,
It was
sluts.
creepy as fuck. He just
It reminds me of
I don't know why this
Carrie,
confuses
the mother
me.
and Carrie. He tried to kick a boy for either, we're not sure which one.
There's varying accounts.
He was either drinking a beer or kissing a girl.
Or both, because it
Or
was a
both.
high school
Yeah,
party.
it's a high school
Yeah.
party. He missed the boy and fell, and the whole party erupted in laughter, which kind of reflected on what happened to his father during Halloween, which gave him that wonderful nickname that I think that I want that to be my
Trick or
nickname.
treat Jillian.
Trick or treat Genevieve.
We're just gonna be the trick or treat sisters now.
I'm so down.
Oh, that's our song. That's our theme song. Is Trick or Treat.
Can I be Trick or Treat Frankie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Look
my
at
god,
all-
that works.
We'll send you our theme song.
Huh?
It has to be Frankie.
Well, yeah, because Marilyn
This is
Manson.
like I hate
I
it.
can't do those lyrics from Marilyn Manson. We'll get in trouble.
We can play our song though. So anyway,
We have the okay.
so after this is where things get even crazier. Following the party, he sat all the kids down, told them that they would die by his hand.
Could you imagine? Your dad's like, so, I'm gonna kill you.
The daughter actually believed it.
Well,
As she should have.
Yes.
And she still came home?
Well,
Where-
we'll get into that. Sorry.
yeah. So he said that the reason why he was telling them this is because he wanted to know what their final wishes were, whether they wanted to be buried or cremated.
Could you, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You have the incident that she had with her father where they stop speaking, and then he sits all of them down to say, I'm going to kill you. Do you want to be buried or cremated?
I think it was
believe
even
it
along
too.
the lines of write out what you
Oh, yeah.
want.
No,
Yeah.
I believe that he did that. I absolutely
Yeah.
believe he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, as being her, I would 100% believe that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So she tells her drama coach, is Ed Iliano, that he didn't believe her. John Jr. tried to tell the drama coach as well. Something bad was going to happen, but again, nobody listened. One night, Patty called Ed several times asking for him to go over to her house, which he did not do because he was tired. We think that's weird.
Well, I think there was something more going on with the drama coach.
The drama coach actually was. I mean, how old was she when she was? How old was she here?
She's 16.
16, yeah.
Yeah.
At the
Yep.
time,
It was a
that
little
was-
inappropriate.
There was some inappropriate.
There was. It was slightly inappropriate,
communication.
but it wasn't.
It's still.
It wasn't. It was inappropriate, but it wasn't looked down upon like it is to now. Like it should be. Don't get me wrong. It should be looked down upon completely, but at the time it was completely different. And it did look like there was something going on between them.
Yeah, the author for Death Sentence
Yeah.
interviewed him several times and tried to get out of him, what was your relationship with her?
And he was a fucking pussy. Sorry to say that out loud like that, but that's what he was. Because he could have saved her.
Well, we'll get into that too, won't we? So, from there, he started. I'm not sure if he had the plan already, if he had the actual details of the plan, but he started enacting the plan. He canceled the newspaper. The morning of the incident, he left a letter on the front door for the milkman to cancel for 30 days because the family left on an emergency situation. So he's putting this whole storyline in place to account for where they are and where they're going to be.
Yeah, this is like the literal definition of premeditated.
Yeah, this is like beyond premeditated. Yeah. This is like, I spent a really long time creating this situation.
Well, being that he was a very big true crime buff, he was, and the knot that was building, everything was coming out, he was planning this for a long time.
Yeah.
It wasn't just sporadic in the last couple of weeks, it was over the last couple of years. And then everything came to fruition.
And he believed that this was a justifiable plan, like that this was his only option.
Well, exactly, because
murder
to him was
he could ask for forgiveness.
Exactly, he could ask for forgiveness, but being poor, absolutely not. You can't ask for forgiveness for that.
So it was November 9th?
Yes.
November 9th, 9 a.m. Helen came downstairs to make coffee after taking her first sip. He pulled out his .22 caliber, shot her in the jaw, then proceeded to shoot her several more times until she fell to the ground.
Okay, that was the rage killing right there.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. He then went upstairs, entered his mother's apartment without knocking, which he never did. She asked what the noise was. He kissed her on the cheek first, then shot her in the left eye point blank range. One of the things that I read, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, can I add here that he took a break to make lunch after this?
Yes.
This happened to span over from...
this was an
all-day affair, and this man ran errands, but we will get there.
Yes.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting.
We better get there quick. I know.
After he shot his mother, he took a break and made himself some lunch, and then did all those... I mean, can I say them?
Well, real quick, just one thing that I read too. After he shot his mother, she fell down so hard that at the autopsy they found that her knees were shattered.
Oh my God.
He also couldn't move her to the ballroom where he wanted to because the mother at the time, she was very large, wasn't she? She wasn't. Yeah. She could.
He couldn't lift her to move her.
Yeah. He couldn't lift her. There was a trail of blood to a certain point where she stopped upstairs, whereas the wife, everything was taken down. To the ballroom.
Well, I mean, are you okay with me mentioning some of these things and you can expand on it? After he made himself lunch, he went down to the bank. He closed his bank accounts, cashed his mother's savings bonds, and then ran a few more errands as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a normal day.
Yeah, yeah.
This was nothing to him.
Yeah.
He set out 2 sleeping bags. He called his boss to tell him.
The Boy Scout sleeping
bags.
They
were like what they would use to go camping with the Boy Scouts.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Those are there. We have pictures of the mother and...
We'll get there.
I don't know if we want to get that brutal yet.
No. So, he calls his boss. He calls his boss and says that they're leaving. The whole family's going to, was it North Carolina, to take care of his mother-in-law. He wrote letters to the kids' school. Yeah, I agree, Natalie. Saying that they'd be out of the town for the same family emergency. So he's got all of this stuff thought out. He showered, got dressed. He went and raked the leaves too. Did we mention that?
Yes.
He went to rake.
He did lawn care in between this because he didn't want his lawn to look crappy.
I think that's Archie.
It is. At around 12 o'clock, Patty called asking for a ride home because she didn't feel good. And that was the first trip up throughout his plan. That was the first thing that went wrong.
He was he was expecting the boy to come home first, and he didn't want to go and deal with her.
Yep.
She was supposed to be the last one.
In his head, in his plan. Once he parked the car, he ran ahead of her while she got her books from the car. He hid behind the door, and when she turned to close the door, he shot her in the back of the head. His daughter shot his daughter in the back of the head.
The only one that didn't see it coming.
She didn't suffer.
Which is very which is very interesting to me because of the rage that he had for her.
He had rage for her rebellion and stuff like that, but it's still I mean, there was obviously no love there, because if he actually had real love for her, he would have been like, no,
Well-
I'm going to spare my kids this.
Well, correct.
What's going to happen,
Yeah, I
happen
mean-
here? But it was clearly just the kids trying to make them not suffer. You know, I don't know.
Well,
No.
It's fucked up.
Well,
No.
he's got this oddly
No.
twisted thing, though.
Yeah.
Like, he's... Okay, so...
No, that's why I think it's weird that she is the only one that did not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
messed up. I messed up.
So
It
he
just clicked in my head
drags-
right now.
He drags her body to the ballroom, cleaned himself, cleaned some of the blood.
This guy
that he
took like
left.
5 showers in the day.
I know. He left a palm print on the door frame. Then he did some more errands. He ran to the post office, mailed a registered letter. Yep. To be delivered on the same day. Drained the bank account, like Liz mentioned. At 3:00. Yeah, Mikey, this guy was all nonchalant. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, he probably was, aside from the fact that he seemed very emotionally distant, he had so much time to get comfortable with this whole plan that he was so nonchalant about it.
He's literally like, do 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 do, bang bang, do 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 do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rake the leaves, do 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 do.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what?
You
Like,
gotta
sorry,
keep
rake the
your
leaves,
answers.
gonna shoot somebody, gonna rake the leaves, gonna shoot somebody. At 3 p.m., the youngest son came home after his school job. Learned that his sister had gone home earlier from school that day, and called for a ride home to take care of his sister. Again, John, we have a cat walking across the table. Sorry.
I think our cat's in here too, so he's on a bed.
I think I'm
He ran ahead of his son after parking the car, and again hid behind the door, shooting his son in the face as soon as he entered the home, and then dragged his body to the ballroom with the rest of the family. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I,
Yes.
There's the
you
body.
might want to squint a little. I'm actually kind of glad it's a little blurry.
I am
But-
too.
Yeah, I don't.
This is how he was piling the bodies into the ballroom.
There's something he did here that was actually pretty smart too. What he did, but we're
Smart
about to
for
get-
the situation. Let's
Yeah.
smart for the situation.
Yeah.
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 Not that we
So-
condone it.
John saw his I guess John Jr. coming home.
Mm-hmm.
He hid again when his son
Exactly
came in
right.
and saw the bodies. He put up a small fight, and John had to use 2 guns and shot at him a total of 10 times.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that's the
Mikey.
oldest son.
Butt knocker.
Butt knocker.
So then he arranges the bodies in the ballroom. Everyone's there except his mother. She's still up in the upstairs apartment. He falls to his knees and prays to God for forgiveness. And the whole thought process that he claims he had, go ahead.
Couldn't he have just done that with a divorce? Been like, oh my God,
Divorce is
I
absolutely
sinned
no.
doing a
Not an
divorce.
option.
Not
Let
an
me
option.
pray and get forgiveness.
He felt in his head that he was sending them to heaven early. Is what it was.
Yeah.
But
And he believed that they would meet again in heaven.
Yeah. Exactly. He felt this was the end to a means. They're
This
going to go off to
motherfucker.
paradise while he gets he erases his debt and goes on to someone
Right.
else.
Not only that, like, he wanted to save them from more of the sins that they were going to incur in their lifetime.
Mhm.
That was his
Yep.
thought process. So then he calls his pastor and told him of the whole North Carolina trip. So he's got the pastor now involved. Then writes 5 letters. So after all this happens, he writes down all of these letters to various people. One was to his mother-in-law apologizing for the murders. One was to his sister-in-law saying basically the same thing. Another letter to an aunt apologizing again. The 4th to his boss to quit his job. And then the 5th,
by the way,
was-
I quit.
yeah,
So sorry. So sorry for the way that I quit after killing my whole family.
the 5th letter was to his pastor, which would give all the details of the murders, why he did it, with the P.S. that his mother's body is upstairs. Like, here's everybody else. Oh, P.S. my mom's upstairs,
The crazy thing
Yeah.
is,
dead upstairs.
the letters didn't take too long to get to these people. they didn't exactly. I know we're going to get to something here in a second. They didn't exactly take him seriously, did they?
I think were the letters in the house? He didn't actually.
They were in
send
the
them.
house. He didn't
Yeah.
actually mail
Oh,
them.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah, they were in a
I thought he
locked.
sent them off.
Locked. Yeah, no. The thing he sent himself a registered letter with a key to the desk for some reason.
Because that's where the letters were, right?
Where the letters, cat.
Well, so
Nothing.
he sent it to come back to him. So by the time the police were searching, they checked the mail. The key is there. They can open the.
He sent it to himself,
desk.
though, and like opened the desk to put the letters in.
I don't know. You can't.
Okay, yeah, no.
It was
You
just
can't
part of his
understand this
ritual.
whole thing that this
Part
guy.
of his ritual.
I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
probably the least weird thing that he did.
This is all fucking weird. I'm sorry.
I know. I know.
All of it is.
So
But he was-
after, go ahead.
No, he was a true crime buff, so he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He kind of did
Yep.
know what he was doing for the time, and it. When was he actually caught? What year was it again?
Well,
Sorry.
1989, right?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
18 years
89.
later. So
Yeah.
after writing all these notes and going through all these murders and stuff, he makes himself dinner and just went up to sleep. Just
Best
gonna
sleep of his
in the
life, he
house.
said.
Best sleep of
Best
his life.
sleep of his life.
Awesome. So then he
Actually-
drives.
Goes along with the time too. Those gunshots that's happening in that house, that's not my business. I'm worrying about this right here.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's
Yep.
what was going on here.
Yep,
So
he's so crazy. He makes Charles Manson look sane.
Yeah.
um,
Charles Manson is the one to have girls. That's all he wanted.
Yeah.
Hi,
Wanted
Kristen.
Girls, drugs, sex.
So we've got now he's destroying all the photos in the house. He lowers the temperature in the house. Buffy, go
hair
away.
everywhere.
Lowers the temperature in the house. Left lights on throughout the house, which doesn't coincide with the fact that he's telling everybody that they left. Why
Right.
would he leave the lights on? But anyway,
Well, if you're going to leave for that long back then, you don't.
That's
want
just for the
yeah.
immediate neighbors.
Yeah.
That's not for the people who
That's
he's
true.
actually has
Yeah.
contact with. He's trying to preserve things to. I know we're gonna get to this here for a second, but the weird thing is he put letters in there saying I did this, I did this, I did this, but at the same time he's trying to keep it so he can get far away as
Yeah.
possible.
so then he goes to JFK, gets on a plane to Colorado, starts a whole new life, disappears for 18 years. It is a month. A month goes by before the family is found, before their bodies are found.
Oh God, could you imagine the smell in that place?
I know.
Kicking the AC
unseasonably cold at that time.
on. It
Yeah.
was unseasonably cold,
But
and he kicked the AC
Still,
on.
the smell in that place, regardless of how cold it wasn't cold enough.
It
Yeah.
was. He did make it like a meat locker to where it lasted for a week or so.
Mm-hmm.
That way, that smell wasn't getting out there to the neighbors or anything like that. He was able to get hundreds and hundreds, even not thousands of miles away.
I gotta bring this up. So, Charles Manson, king of the hippie murder. And a whole bunch of chlamydia.
Yes.
I just like how that...
That did stack nicely. So 11 days after the murders, the drama club begins to worry. You got this like outgoing, popular girl who's part of this whole club. They start to get a little concerned.
You got a
On
teacher who's missing his girlfriend.
Yeah, December 5th, 1971, Ed Iliano finally goes to the home to see what was wrong. He lets himself in through an open window. Apparently, sees the bodies. I know. Sees the bodies.
Wait, was that
In
a
the
syphilis
house.
check?
No, that was just a like, what the, who could do this? Sees the bodies, goes into a blackout state, and doesn't do anything for the next 2 days.
No,
Then-
he went into shock.
Yeah.
I don't. There's a lot that goes in through a person's mind when you find a dead body.
I'm
Most
sure.
people
Oh,
have
I'm sure,
never
yeah.
seen a dead body.
Much less
Oh, yeah.
4 in the same spot that have been...
And someone that you really
decaying.
care about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they go back 2 days later.
Mhm.
They break into the house louder, trying to get the neighbors to call the police.
I thought
Well,
it
they
was
just have-
he went back, breaking in louder.
Yeah,
Because
one
he
of the,
finally caught his nerve back, and he went back in there trying to make it louder to get the neighbors to call the police. And this is where I call him a pussy. He's like, dude, just call the fucking police.
Yeah, yeah.
It would have been so much easier if you just called the police in the first place.
Which he
Right.
got in trouble for.
Yep. So the police enter. Did he? Did he get in trouble for that?
He got a talking to, is what it was.
Oh.
It wasn't. It was a slap on the wrist. But it was like, dude, why didn't you just call the police the first time? And
Because they messed with the crime scene.
He went. Yeah, he went in there, looked around the crime scene, and it was like, you could have just called the police right here. And that's where he was like, I went into a blackout state. I couldn't call the police. I'm like, your drama shit isn't working here, dude. This is real life. Call the police.
Well, one of the call the police.
Yeah, sorry.
One of the things that I heard was that it was the whole drama club that went over too.
Yeah.
So there's all these
Everything
kids.
I read, it was just him. That's what I heard.
Well, there's multiple accounts.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So the police go into the house. It's a terrifying scene. Not just they have the 5 bodies in the house, decaying, and he's got music blaring throughout the
It's
house.
all classical music.
Classical music.
That's all he listened to.
Mhm.
Was
He
it
re-
Wagner?
No, it was like Beethoven and stuff like that, and Bach. No joke.
Kill the
He
rabbit.
Kill the wabbit. No, he was a. I think it was Beethoven. He was a major fan of Beethoven, along with his strategy
That's
games.
sad because I'm a very
everything.
big fan of Beethoven.
Fun fact:
Crazy.
he
It's
would
okay.
like to play the Nazis though, as in his strategy games. Only
Really?
the
Like,
Nazis.
as the
Yes.
Nazis. And
And he would
Germans.
He would make every person
the Germans.
who came in there to play strategy games with him. They would he would make them play for 8 hours. They would have to finish the game. Like whereas you're playing
Yeah,
Risk
he would
now,
trick
where
them.
it's
Be like, hey, we're gonna play Monopoly.
yes.
Oh wait, that's like the same amount of
Hey,
time.
we're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh no, Dungeons and Dragons Monopoly, you can flip the board and you'd be done. But this with him was like, no, you,
can't
are
flip the
playing
board
this
in
game.
D&D.
It is a game, but it is not fun.
Yeah.
Risk? Oh god, I hate playing Risk. I'm like, screw it, you took over all my people. Here, take them.
Well, the strategy game.
Do it.
See, now we're getting close here. We might have to do a part 2.
I know. So Police Chief Knuckles Moran.
Knuckles, it's
Knuckles.
so Jersey. That is so
It is Jersey.
Jersey.
Police Chief Knuckles.
I'm sorry.
Like, how do you
Hey,
get that nickname?
You guys want to fight me when I arrest this guys, huh?
Put 'em up. Put
Put 'em up.
He had his pants all the way up to like underneath his ribs. He was like,
He probably did. It was
Hey there,
1971.
he's talking to a man named.
Yeah.
He wants to fight a man named Shirley. No joke. That's what he wants to do all the time. Any man named Shirley, he's got to fight him.
Don't call me Shirley.
I was about to say that.
Don't call me Shirley.
Shirley, you must be joking. I am not, and don't call me Shirley.
So he's putting whatever he can into this case because it was such a famous case. It's the second. We check in the time. The second most infamous case in New Jersey after the Lindbergh baby disappearance. That was another
Right.
big.
The Lindbergh.
Oddly, the house that this occurred in burned to the ground 1 year after the murders.
Oddly.
Oddly.
It stays
Somebody
still
was like,
got
I don't
the
want
baby,
this
though.
evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want this evil in our town anymore.
Yep. So, meanwhile, Mr. List is in Denver, Colorado. Denver? Is it Denver? Changed his name to Robert P. Clark, or Bob. Remarried.
Burb.
Remarried
I have
in
a picture of the
Colorado.
burnt house.
Oh,
I also
Here
have
we go.
Altoids in my mouth.
I like Altoids. There's a burnt house.
oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Which burnt down the glass of the ballroom, probably. That
Yeah.
It was, I mean, even though when they took the original picture of it, like where everything was overgrown, it was a gorgeous house.
Yeah.
It
There's a
was.
lot of beautiful homes in Westfield. It's a
Ugh.
really, really
What's
beautiful
this?
place.
Is this
Disgusting.
the top of it?
That's
Look
your
at that ballroom. Look at that.
Yeah.
Is the ballroom the one
fireplace
that's over to the
is-
side? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's over to the side, yeah.
With that glass.
It has its own chim. Look how many chimneys
Yeah.
it has.
Yeah.
With 10 fireplaces?
there's 10
That, like-
fireplaces.
that
Yeah.
light area, you know, ambient
Could you
light
imagine?
area.
I know what my heating bill is like in
I
this
know.
house.
Oh,
Good
I would have been
Lord.
blankets and everything. Like, we're not running anything.
I'm like,
during
you're
the
putting a
snow in the
hoodie
winter.
on.
And
Put a
we're
hoodie
just-
Put
on.
a damn hoodie on.
Put some
And a
footies
blanket.
on.
Go, you're still cold.
Light a
Here,
fire.
put another hoodie on.
Get your
Yeah.
iPhones
That's why they
out
had
and droids,
5
and then
Oh,
that's how
they've
you're
got
going to
10
warn yourself.
fireplaces. Oh, it's almost 11. Oh my goodness. Okay, so he goes to Richmond, Virginia after he marries his second wife. Was it
Dolores.
Dolores. The trail went completely cold until 18 years later. the first season of America's Most Wanted showed a clay bust of what John List would look like today. And they said that when they put the glasses on him, it kind of connected in his old neighbor's mind.
The neighbor is the one that...
The neighbor from Denver was like, this is who it is.
And I think that she kind of had, like, an annoyance for him.
Well, she was a nosy, like... How do you say it? Like nosy Nancy or something like that?
Like a busybody.
Yeah, she was a busybody. And she was like... I think she was someone who constantly, like, complained about things, but this is one time she was right. Now, real fast while we get into it, he actually, when he went on the run, the job...
Oh, that's crazy, isn't it?
The job that he actually succeeded at...
It's like a cake.
He was a cook.
It does look like a cake.
It does look like a cake.
It's a John List cake.
I'm hungry.
I know we only have a few more minutes here.
I'm hungry,
but
guys.
The job he succeeded at was awesome he was a cook. And I think it was he worked for a resort in the mountains of Colorado, and they loved him. Like he came over with
was like
dishes.
A short order cook for like his first job in Denver.
I want to say that business is still there, and they're still serving his dishes that he made because he was amazing at being a cook. But in the back of his head, the entire time, he's like, I have to go be an accountant. I have to be an accountant. So he got his wife and everything like that, and he went back on to being an accountant and went right back into kind of the same, even though he's trying to, in that lifestyle, he went right back into it. And he started again with the strategy games, all this other stuff, and...
Well, you can't change who he is, right?
No, you couldn't, but it's like, dude, you're not trying to be this guy anymore, and you're amazing at a cook. He's all, this is beneath me. Being a cook is beneath me, but he was actually getting paid well as a cook, and he was successful as a cook. Like
Then he went back, when he went back to the accounting, he kept going into that cycle again where he was losing his jobs. They moved to Virginia. Wanda was the neighbor, I think.
Yes.
Wanda. She rats him out when she sees him on America's Most Wanted. FBI shows up on his doorstep. They match his fingerprints because, of course, he's denying. He's like, "No, I'm Bob Clark. I'm not John."
Yep.
Go for it, Frank.
2, when he registered the gun in New Jersey.
Yep.
And this is where I was saying, if he's a true crime buff, he just
I did
bought the gun and walked away.
Yeah.
Especially at the time where you didn't have to register guns in New Jersey. You could have just bought the gun and walked away from the police department, and you would have been done with it. But
he's a rule follower.
Stuck on his rules and processes, his OCD, everything that he had going on. He obviously doesn't
follow him that well, though.
Yeah.
He had his own rules that he followed.
He had his own morals is what it was. He still followed rules, but he has his own morals.
Yeah. So he still denied it, pled not guilty, even though he wrote the 5-page confession letters.
I want to say he denied it for about 6 months to a year. The trial took on for a while. It took him forever to actually admit that he was John List.
Yeah, he went, even I think for a while, he kept having everyone call him Bob.
Because he believed it. Like, he actually played the part. I was like, dude, your prints are on file here. These are you. You are this.
Yeah. You are this permit.
So the defense is claiming that he wasn't responsible because he wasn't mentally equipped with any of the pressures that were mounting, and that his OCD led him to the murder, so he's not able to be found guilty.
No, his OCD
led
him to
I know plenty of OCD people that are not going to be murdering people. Yeah. His OCD, in fact, probably led him to what got him caught.
No, his OCD led him to living a life for almost 20 more years after this. Yeah. That's what his OCD led him to do. Yeah,
and one of the things that was that on that podcast was that he didn't expect it to take a month. He expected it to take a lot less for them to find the bodies, and he was a bit shocked that it took them that long. I just
forgot that I put that in.
I know what podcast you're listening to. I like that podcast too.
I read the book too, though.
Yeah,
the book's good.
The book is good. So they also tried to use Helen's syphilis brain and Patty's interest in the occult to justify the murders. That's what that's the route the defense was trying to take.
She survived almost 30 years with severe syphilis.
Yeah.
And coherent.
And the abuse. The abuse that he endured. Yeah.
She was coherent enough. Let's say that.
So when he was asked if he would do it all over again, he said that he wouldn't.
No. Thanks, guy.
They always do.
They always do.
I repent on my deathbed.
Yeah.
Everybody regrets it when they're caught.
Exactly. He co-wrote a rambling manifest called Collateral Damage. He died in prison in 2008.
Mm-hmm. The MF died in prison.
Oh, I'm sorry. The notes say the MF died in prison in 2008. Mm-hmm. His body... Go ahead.
I just want to show a picture, because this makes me laugh. Of him being so boring during his own verdict.
Yeah. Ugh. He's snoozing. That's a bird.
Okay, being that
bird, man.
I want to actually bring this up real fast. Being that he always liked to play the Germans, it looks like his public defender was a person of color here.
Yeah,
and that is even more sweeter.
Yep.
To make him mad because he deserved it.
Mm-hmm. He deserved anything that came to him.
He is a bird man.
And his body went unclaimed. Like nobody wanted to.
I love that. That's my favorite part. I wouldn't want to
claim it either.
Yeah.
Dolores was like, "Oh, what happened? Peace."
She didn't know. Actually, she loved him.
I mean, like once all that was found out, she was like, "I ain't claiming that body."
She was there 100% for him.
I would have
from the start.
done the same.
He was actually, I think, while he was a cook, while he was doing whatever he was doing, he was a good husband to her. But then he started sliding back into his ways.
Yeah,
he started going right back into his rhythm of life and everything like that. He literally started becoming the person that he was, which was John List. And I'm sorry, Robert. What was his other name again?
Robert P. Clark.
I was about to say Robert Blake because Robert Blake played him in the movie.
Oh yeah, he did.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
Interestingly,
Robert Blake has his own stuff that happened.
Tried to play him younger too, right?
Yeah. That's a whole other show.
And it was like already in like the late 90s or something.
Well, that's next week. Oh.
I remember seeing the movie, like he had like 90s hair and he was like all in suit and all that. We gotta go soon, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
She's like, please, shut up.
I have a
I love you, but shut up.
I have a dog walk in half an hour and it takes us about that much time to get over there.
Oh yeah, you gotta do that.
Yeah. Go get them doggies. I gotta walk my own.
This was so much fun.
This was great,
This was
guys.
absolutely fun. Do we need a part 2?
No, I think
the
in-between time was covered.
I think the next 5 Saturday month we should do another collab.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Can I address something really fast? So Sykes had sent me a bunch of people, like some people in his area, which is not too far away from our area, and it cracked me up because one of the ones that he said was Sherry Jo Bates, because he said, I found this unsolved murder, Sherry Jo Bates, and I was like, the Zodiac killed her, but they only connected it somewhat recently.
Yeah, I think it was like the.
Oh, that is a cliffhanger that you need to hang on to.
Yes. And so I will address more about her, which we did during our Zodiac shows.
That's great.
Can I bring this up real fast? Beast and Jugs on the metal show, they're total dicks.
Yeah, I mean, he likes to tell people that.
I'm just letting you guys know. So if you guys ever want to do a crossover,
why would they want to do a crossover with Beast and Jugs?
Not Beast and Jugs,
just
in general. Like we could do whatever you guys want.
Anyway,
so
we definitely need to keep doing these 5th episode crossovers.
Definitely. Yes. And we're going to talk about Westfield again next week on our Sinister Sisters.
Yeah, we have some things to talk about.
Lots of cool stuff.
All right, guys.
This was awesome, guys.
This was so much fun.
Thank you so much for doing this. This was a fantastic idea. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Natalie. This was awesome. Otis said this was a great show. That's awesome.
Great show.
Calvin said.
Great show.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
And yeah, so we'll definitely be doing this again. I wish I had an outro for you guys.
We always play commercials in the outros.
Let's just do this
Baby,
one.
Guys, we're out.
Halloween.
Bye.